Hello, my name is Juliana. I am here to share some of my thoughts and contemplations about the gene keys and the gates. And today we are talking about gene key or gate or hexagram 37. I was woken from a dream a month or two ago now. I've always been quite curious as to how the I Ching fits into human design and the gene keys. Like there's this longing of needing to know and understand more. And my teacher, Karen Curry Parker, she directed me to this because in this dream that I had, I was told, and I have quite prophetic dreams sometimes where they say you need to go and do this, you need to go do this. I was told I need to study ancient China, which was kind of cool to me because I haven't been really drawn to that very much in my life, but I love traditional Chinese medicine. My body has always responded very well to acupuncture and that idea. And I remember a friend of mine would often say to me, who's an acupuncturist, and I would go for community acupuncture. She would often say to me, I forget the exact term she used, but basically I have low blood, low energy. I didn't know I was a projector at this time, and I was working like 2 or 3 jobs, traveling like 8 hours a week to do the therapy school I was doing, learning to be a therapist. I was busy. I didn't know I was a projector. I was just doing what my family kind of, you work hard. You just keep working hard. I was also practicing like yoga 2 hours a day. It was kind of insane, right? Now I know I'm a projector. I was like, okay, this is nuts. So there is this, and when she would say that to me, my friend, she would say, you're low on blood. It made sense to me, but I didn't understand it in the context of human design, where it's like I am energetically tapped out. So, on that note, let's dive into gate 37, gene key 37. So, this transit is happening between February 25th and March 1st, 2023. And so you can watch this video in a way of considering this transit or considering how, if you have this active in your chart, or if you know someone who has this activated in their charts. Knowing that this energy, this archetypal energy, exists all around the world. So even if you don't have this defined necessarily, you're going to have experienced this at some point in your life, whether it's through your family, your friends, the media, whatever it is. And we all, whenever we are encountered with these different energies, there is it's an opportunity to shift it from the shadow to the gift, from the lower expression to the higher expression, because through that, when we do that work for ourselves, that then creates ripples and shifts the consciousness of humanity. So gate 37 is in the emotional solar plexus, and it connects to the will center in the human design body graph through gate 40. This is tribal circuitry, and its quantum human design language name is peace. The traditional language is friendship, and in the I Ching, it's known as the family. So this transit is highlighting family bonds or bonds with friends, right? This is very tribal energy. It's highlighting the idea and the truth that we are all, each single human being on this planet is an integral part of the whole. It's also highlighting where we might sacrifice self for other, and it's highlighting where we might emotionally project onto other people. So the shadow aspect of this is the idea of struggling to find peace outside of yourself, trying to make things happen, trying to make other people happy outside of you so you can relax. So you can have peace, right? You'll often see this, right? I mean, I know I've done this, where you're trying to make sure that someone is feeling a certain way or doing a certain thing so that you can then, so that I could then relax and feel okay. On the higher expression of this is the archetypal mother, the full expression of a mother energy who cares for others unconditionally, but is also very discerning and knows how to care for herself. She doesn't martyr herself. She makes sure she has enough energy in order to continue giving to the people that she is entrusted to care. This is also about the ability to stay in peace and generate peace no matter what's happening around you. So if your partner is unhappy, you can recognize that as their stuff, and you can still tap into your own inner peace, and you're not making sure that they feel a certain way so that you can feel a certain way. And it's about also being able to create emotional alignment within yourself so you can make choices that feel peaceful and on purpose no matter what's going on. And this is a tricky place, right? Because we are, as a generalization, a very reactive population. We react from our emotions. We react to them or we stuff them down. We ignore them. And when we react or stuff them, we end up making choices that we may wish that could be different. If we're in reaction, we might make choices that don't feel good or we feel regret about. If we're stuffing them down, those emotions eventually start leaking out. So we want to practice creating emotional alignment so you can make those choices that are in alignment for you. And that means understanding your emotions, befriending your emotions, and taking care of your emotions, and seeing your emotions as breadcrumbs to what you need. Right? This morning I woke up feeling kind of grumpy, had to do some bookkeeping stuff, which is like, that's not my favorite. That's one of my great lessons in life. And I could feel it just irritating me more and more and more. So instead of sitting in that irritation and going, oh, I need to do this, I actually stepped back. I actually went and read the Book of Changes, the I Ching, and that really helped me calm down so I could come here. Right? It was that irritation was signifying, I need to step away from this right now. I need a break right now. So on the Gene Key side, Richard Rudd calls this, the Gene Key, the family alchemy. And I kind of think of this as the ultimate feminine energy that is rising again in the world. Both within men and women. So on the shadow side, we look at this as weakness, and this is again about illusion of what things that appear to be weak, right? Bunny rabbits, women, birds, people that are really thin, people that are not healthy. We judge them as being weak. And that weakness, right, is really closely related to our emotions, of course, because when we judge something for being weak or we see ourselves as weak, there's this victimization that happens. We become victims to our own emotions. We are flooded by our emotions to the point of collapse. We become so cathartic in our release of emotions that the emotions just keep coming and coming and coming and coming and don't actually ever stop. And this can also be often seen in the world as people who have those bleeding hearts, right? Where they're just always very upset by what's happening in the world, what's happening to all of these different groups of people in the world. Because there's a big difference between going, wow, I don't want this to happen anymore. I'm going to choose something for myself, knowing it's going to impact other people, and being what I call bleeding heart, where your compassion floods you and then you can't do anything for yourself. It can also come across this weakness, right? We try and protect from it, where we really harden ourselves off to the world, and we might take advantage of others in order to benefit ourselves. So how do we travel from weakness to the gift of equality? It always begins with you. Even if this is tribal energy, it always begins with you. You cannot give to others if you can't give to yourself. Super duper duper important. And equality isn't about us all being the same. It's about being so radically accepting of yourself first and then others, that individuality is what makes up the whole. So I want you to think of an ecosystem, right? There's nowhere in an ecosystem that a tree says to a shrub, oh, you're not growing big enough, right? Those shrubs are there to help keep the soil healthy, to help maintain and prevent, or help to prevent soil erosion, to give berries to the birds and the squirrels and the chipmunks, right? And to the bears. If we think of an ecosystem, when there's homogenization in the ecosystem, that means that the ecosystem is probably going to become very unhealthy. And so this gate, this gene key 37, that equality is understanding that everything is interrelated and everyone has gifts to bring to the family, to bring to the tribe, to the collective. And that you are really valuable, who you are. Even if you're expressing the shadow side of this, right? You are incredibly valuable and important to the evolution of humanity, to your friend groups, to your families, right? Even if they don't know it, right? Even if you came from a family that where you might have experienced trauma, there is something in that. It doesn't mean there's not pain there. And it's understanding that your individual expression is so needed, and that you do not need to be like everyone else. In fact, we don't want to be like everybody else. We want to be fully expressed as our individual selves, so that it is all of those expressions are equal. So how do we use this energy? Begin watching. So again, all of this is about bringing the unconscious to the conscious. That's where we shift things. We begin to notice what our beliefs are, our patterns are. So watch. If you need someone to do something in order to feel okay about yourself, do you need to get an email back or a text back? Do you need a partner to say certain words to you so that you feel okay? Begin watching this for yourself. Okay, when you do stuff like that, when you act in that way, you're giving your power away. That's the shadow of weakness. You're giving your power away to something outside of you. And so as you begin watching yourself, see if you can take care of yourself in that moment. See if you can go, okay, I'm noticing that I'm feeling really uncomfortable and I'm projecting it out there on my partner that he cleans the kitty litter box before I can relax, right? See if, okay, notice that discomfort, acknowledge it, and then do something that supports you to feel comfort, right? That has nothing to do with anyone else. So whether it's taking yourself for a walk, whether that's going to bed, making yourself a nice meal, right? It's doing something that fills you up, whether that's meditation, whatever that is. Knowing that so much of our power is given away when we want something outside of ourselves to make ourselves feel better. And now I know, like, going for walks and making a nice meal or having a bath or going to sleep is doing something outside of you. And you are in an empowered place when you're making that choice, because it doesn't have to do with anyone else. It doesn't have to do with how they respond to what you're doing. You're choosing that for you. So this is a really great time for you to practice doing this. So I hope that was supportive and helpful. If you liked the video, I invite you to please like, share, or subscribe. And thank you very much for watching.